Hello and welcome to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back at Okayama full course layout, this time in the FIA F4 on iRacing. This can be used for an open setup. The series does go there with open, but I have used the fixed setup. That way people aren't needing to worry about what they're having to do. This is the speed that you can get out of it, or certainly I can get out of it on the fixed setup. I'm sure there will be some people that go faster this week though. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you are new to the channel, what we do is we do a hot lap and then a breakdown lap, and we're back in the cockpit a final time with the driving line on. My brake bias is all the way back at 55.3, so if anyone asks me in the comments what the brake bias is, it just lets me know that you didn't listen to the intro. Anyway, enough of that, let's start the lap. Okay, let's start the hot lap. Over on the left-hand side. Looking for the blue cone. Don't overbrake there, only up to about 70%. Trail it off, down to third gear, get on the gas nice and early, up to fourth, over to the right-hand side. We're just doing a big lift here, getting back on the gas nice and early again. So there was no braking for that corner. Looking for the 50-meter sign on the left, braking up to about 73%. Again, getting on the gas nice and early. The apex is less important than getting on the gas early for this corner. It's all about trying to carry that speed all the way down here. That's why turn 4 is the most important corner. And what we're looking for here is just after the 100-meter mark. We're going to brake all the way down nice and hard. I'll do a little lock up there, but I'll explain why in the breakdown lap. We're just lifting around turn 6, and then just lifting again through 7. Getting on the gas really early, using full exit. And then as we come to Redman corner, all the way down to second gear, on the gas nice and early. Gets a little bit twitchy. I leave it in second, just a little dab on the brakes. Again, getting on the gas early. Again, a little twitch. Up to third, up to fourth, flat out through this corner. Looking for the mud patch on the left-hand side here. Down to third gear. I have a little correction mid-corner. It just puts me a little bit wide, but it didn't actually harm my time at all. And over and across the line in a 1:27.622. Maybe lost a tenth on that exit in the final corner, but you don't have to. Right, let's do the breakdown lap. Okay, for the breakdown lap, so just to explain, this is a fixed setup, so it's not set up ideally as I would like, and that leads to a couple of things later on the lap, which I shall explain. But the most important thing is, let's get it going. So just before the blue cone on the right-hand side, we're going to start braking in a straight line. Don't overbrake for this corner. A lot of people do. I'm going to get up to nearly 70%, getting the majority of it done in a straight line, trailing it off as I start turning the wheel down to third gear at the apex, getting on the gas. Back over to the right-hand side. We're going to start our turn-in again at this patch of mud here, and as we start the turn-in, we're going to do a lift, so I've not touched the brake at all. And then once I get to the apex, I'm back on 100% nice and early into the corner. Exit onto the extra wide bit. Do stop me if I'm getting too technical. Now, turn 4, the most important corner on the track, because it is the corner before the longest straight. Our braking marker is going to be the 50-meter board. And what we're going to do is we're going to sacrifice some entry speed here for exit speed. So we're not particularly as worried about getting down to the apex on this one. What we're really concentrating on is getting back on the gas as soon as possible. So as you can see, getting my braking done, only up to about 73%, down to fourth gear, all in a straight line. I start trailing it off as I start to turn. I drop it down to third gear, and I start building back up, so I'm on 100% gas now. And if you look at the track map in the top right of the screen, I'm not even a third of the way through the corner, and I'm already back on 100%. That's why we're sacrificing a little bit of entry to try and get that really good exit that this gives us. So now we're coming up to the hairpin, turn 5. So I'm going to stop it here. My braking marker would be a 100-meter board if I was in the race. But if you see, so I would start braking around here if I was in the race. But this is a hot lap, so it's sort of designed to show you guys the best qualifying line, in my opinion. Although it's not definitive, obviously. And because I'm looking for qualifying, I'm going to basically give up a little bit of tyre life in qualifying to try and get that extra sort of little bit of speed and time. So I brake a little bit after then. I've got my brake bias at 55.3, and that's a lot more towards the rear than the sort of base setup. And as you can see, I'm braking really, really hard. Now, this setup isn't perfect for me because what it does mean, braking that hard and that late, is that as we get sort of towards the apex, you see my right front locks up. And that's simply because all the weight is shifted to the left-hand side of the car, and the right front is just lifting up and it's losing a bit of traction. Now, that's absolutely fine in qualifying. It doesn't really harm your tyres that much, but you don't want to be doing that every lap of a 20-minute race. Anyway, as I get to the apex, I'm in second gear, I'm back at 100%, over to the right-hand side, and then as soon as I get over to the right-hand side, I start. Okay, final time with the driving line on. As always, thanks for your support. I've been Sambo iRacing, and I'll see you guys in the week. Thanks a lot.